Kerala and Calcutta, West Bengal, and even Bihar, you will see. A lot of effort is required to rejuvenate the local party centers with the Congress. I myself have seen, how Congress has declined and shriveled up in my constituency, Kishanganj, which gave people like M.J. Akbar as MPs of the parliament, Syed Shahnawaz Hussain. And for the first time, I was looking at the results, the Congress candidate has actually won from Kishanganj. And this guy, he always has been standing up for elections, MP elections, for the last, I don't know how many general elections. This is the first time that he has won, which is very interesting for me. It's a local politics point of view. So that worked, and I think Rahul still has a lot of work to do. That's why I think he's not ready to take any ministership in the cabinet. And as I was speaking to one of the editors here, she is a founder of a magazine here, she was telling me that also the thing that Rahul Gandhi's cousin, whatever he said and did and all the controversy that surrounded it, it just exposed the true color of BJP, even though a lot of BJP leaders have been shying away from directly talking about communal politics. But there's the branding that they have, and especially after Gujarat and the trumpeting by people like Narendra Modi and all that. She said that whatever that guy said in Pilibhit against the minority community, it backfired, and people sort of didn't go for BJP because of that. So I don't completely agree with that, because if that were the case, then he would have lost in Pilibhit, but Maneka Gandhi's son has not lost there. He has won by a margin of a couple of lakhs, if I remember correctly. So that's there. But it's sort of, for the urban people who are thinking Congress, probably it concretized their view that these people are trying to divide the country, these people are trying to create divisions in the country among people, and we should not do that. This is the time of economic crisis, this is a very different kind of time, so we should go ahead and make more progress, bring in more investments from abroad, and take the country forward, which is not completely a wrong view. So I think that's why they would have, even if they would have thought of BJP, they changed their mind and went for Congress. So it might have added a slight factor in favor of Congress, whatever Maneka Gandhi's son didn't say it. I'm sorry, I just forgot his name. I'm speaking extempore. I don't have any notes in front of me or anything. I'm just having a cup of tea and saying all these things. Then on CAC and IBN, interestingly, there was this conversation between Sagarika Ghosh and Farid Zakaria. Shashi Tharoor, I'm very happy for him. He has won, and I think more people like him should come into politics, active politics, and become MPs and ministers and drive the country forward. So I'm very happy for him. This also helps because I think that it's not just he's a clean person, it's also that he has a vast international connections and exposure. All these things make him very a prime asset for the country, and we should have more leaders like him. So Farid Zakaria made a very interesting remark, which I would like to mention here, and that remark is that if the Olympics were the coming out party for China, then this year's general elections define or can be seen as the coming out party for India, because internationally it has made a great impact. That India, and look at the situation around the country. You take Pakistan being destabilized by different kind of forces, including the Taliban's, and Sri Lanka, civil war, military operations, Nepal, communist problem, unstable democracy. So you look at in and around India, and largely you will find that India comes out as an oasis of stability, where the largest democracy in the world, with elections at such a scale take place freely and fairly. That's great. And now India has given a very clear mandate. Congress led UPA is in power. So this will definitely send a very good message to all the international investors. Barack Obama already said that Manmohan Singh is a very wise leader. And all the Indian newspapers and media channels very loyally printed this thing as if God's command, the Almighty has praised Manmohan Singh, whatever. So, but yeah, what I'm going to see next is, I think, now what's going to happen now. Everybody knows that Congress in the last 5 years when it was in power, Congress tried to push the agenda of globalization, but since one of their constituents were the left parties, they were opposed by them when they tried to implement the agenda. So this sort of was a good thing in hindsight, because you look at the financial crisis, the global financial crisis. So if all the Indian banks and insurance companies and PSUs had been privatized, what would have happened? The impact of the crisis would have been much, much bigger on India than what it is now. So it was a blessing in disguise, I think. But now that the left is no more a constituent of the government or the UPA, what will happen that Congress will have a free hand and it will completely implement the corporate agenda, and you will see complete globalization of India, which is a good thing or a bad thing depending upon what kind of policies you prefer. It's a question of point of view. And one of the indicators is that after the election results, the stock exchange zoomed up. So which means that people are very optimistic and people are very upbeat, and Indian ministers or would-be ministers are already talking about luring foreign investors to the country, and whatever public property there is, selling it off. So you will see more economic zones and selling out of PSUs and things like that. What that will actually mean will be seen in the future. But in the short term, I think India will see a lot of money. The government will be flush with funds, probably, if the investors really believe India's story, and a lot of progress will be made. I hope that government will put some money into infrastructure as well, in education and health and things like that, human development, which will be a good thing, which is always a good thing. Another indicator is the launch of the Forbes magazine from India, for India. So the India edition of Forbes magazine has also been launched. I just saw the video a couple of hours ago. And so corporatization of India, globalization of India will be complete. The Congress government will ensure that. And that's why there was this rumor that Montek Singh Ahluwalia will come in as the foreign finance minister. I think that's not going to happen now, but you never know. Because he's a World Bank man and Manmohan Singh is a World Bank man. And if you read people like Naomi Klein, then you know what it means. So that again, as I would say, is a point of view. Is what kind of world you believe in? Do you believe in globalization? Do you believe in mixed economy? I believe in mixed economy. I'm not against globalization, but I'm against unfettered globalization. I'm in favor of controlled globalization. Like a lot of people will say that the neoliberals will say that the government should be very, very small, but as Farid Zakaria once pointed out, we have seen the financial crisis, and we have seen that how very little government can create problems as well. So there has to be a rational mix of this and that, because the world, you cannot take it back, you cannot turn the clock back, so you have to move on, but you move on with the right policies, and that's what Congress should do, and I hope that they will do. They will not sell the country out completely, and because I don't want my country to be bankrupted by the future crisis. Thank you. Hopefully I'll come back with another podcast or another blog post soon. Bye bye. Have a good day.